unleashyourzebra.com. I am the best-selling author of Succeed Like a Zebra. And today I want to share with you the one skill that will make the biggest difference in college. The one skill that will make the biggest difference in college. It's so important that we develop this skill, that we work on this skill, that we improve in this area, because it will help not only your grades, but it'll also help you after college. It'll help you in many, many ways. As you know, when you're living, this is the one skill that you're going to be using all the time, and it's reading. You've got to develop your reading skills. The other day, as a matter of fact, it was last week. Last week, I had a speaking engagement in Dallas, Texas, and on my way back from Dallas, Texas, there was a college professor that was sitting right next to me, and we just started talking. We were talking about education, talking about speaking, and what I'm doing and what he's doing, and then I asked him, like, what do you teach? And he told me he's a professor for communication, on communication, where he actually is the one that's in charge of the entire campus, where he goes over the curriculum and he teaches public speaking and so on. And he told me, he said, Nick, one of the challenges that we're having at our campus, at our college, and not just our college, but other other colleagues of his have shared this with him as well, that many of the college students can't read. And I said, what? Can't read? What do you mean college students can't read? And he said, Nick, there are many times when I would call people up to read something off of the projector from the PowerPoint, and they would struggle reading it out loud. And he said, and it's not just one time, but it's like most of the time. So he said most of the college students can't really read. And I said, then why do you think that's happening? He said, Nick, what's happening is the middle schools, the high schools aren't doing their job of teaching the students how to read effectively and how to read at a college level. And he said that they're just simply pushing them through middle school, pushing them through high school. And when they get to college, they have a whole lot to read, right? Remember all the books you had to read if you've graduated from college? Perhaps you're in college now and you're thinking, I've got a lot to read, right? So it's a whole different system, if you will, and it's more demanding. The load is much bigger, much heavier in college. So this is the one skill that you want to develop, that you want to work on every single day, improving this one skill, because when you do, it's going to help you to do much better in school and also after school. There are people that I've worked with over the years who had struggles. They were struggling with filling out a job application, and they were in high school. You hear what I'm saying? A job application. Some college students that I've worked with, some of them struggle with just reading comprehension. They're reading a passage. They'll read like a chapter 5 or 6 times and still don't know what they've just read. So this is something that I think is important, and we need to work on it. So let's get down to it. I just wanted to just give you that backstory to share with you. All right, here's what's going on. As a matter of fact, I read an article earlier today about college students, and it stated that the average college student reads at the 7th grade level, 6th to 7th grade level. That's terrible, right? That's bad. And that's why freshmen's first year of school is hard. It's difficult because you've got a whole lot to read. You've got a lot of pages to read. In some cases, you have to read like 20, 30 pages a week. And sometimes if you have 2 or 3 courses, 2 or 3 classes that you're taking, then what? That's a lot of pages, like 100 pages a week. So what I'm going to share with you is going to help you to develop, to improve your reading skills. So let's get down to it. The first thing that you want to do is when you're reading, and this is what I do every time, is I preview what I'm reading. So you preview, you do an overview, and then thirdly, you read. I'll say that again. You do preview, overview, and read. The problem with many of us is when we pick up a book, if we're reading our textbook or if we're reading a book, we just dive right in. We just start reading. But when you do a preview, the preview is reading the introduction and conclusion. Introduction and conclusion. So when you read the introduction of the section and you read the conclusion of the section, introduction of the chapter, conclusion of the chapter, it gives you the big picture of what you're reading. So now when you start reading, when you start going through the material, it's easier for you to know where you're going because you have an idea of the main concept of what you're reading. So number one, you do a preview. And a preview, again, consists of reading the introduction and the conclusion. Second step is you want to do an overview. The overview is you skim through it. You scan through the material. You go back over the introduction. Then you go through the chapters. You go through the sections. You look at the heading and the subheadings. Read through those quickly, and then read quickly through the material. And that's the overview. So what you're doing then is you're filling in the blank. You're filling in the blank spaces of the information that you're gathering as you're reading. Now, the third step in reading is this. You read. So that's when you start reading. That's when you start going through the material. You go from the introduction all the way to the conclusion. And I forgot to mention this, that at every one of these steps, when you finish step one, jot down whatever you can remember. Take notes of whatever comes to mind. And then the second step, the first step is preview. The second step is the overview. And then the third step, you read through the material and then you take notes again. So you'll notice that when you read this way, you'll comprehend the information better. You'll have a better understanding, and you won't have to read it as much as just diving into it without first doing a preview and overview and then reading. So that's how I do it. And this strategy has helped me not only to get through college, but also to do very well in my grad school, my graduate courses, that is, and also my other readings. So this is very, very important. So if you want to improve your reading, if you want to do better in college, if you want to do better in school in general, you've got to develop your reading skills. And I just shared with you 3 ways, 3 things that you can do, 3 steps that you should take every time you read. 3 steps. Again, preview, overview, and read. Now, if you're reading something that is a bit more complex, if it's something that you need to know really, really well, then I would add the 4th step. Now, what is the 4th step? The 4th step is the final review. The final review. Now, in the final review, what you're doing is you're reading headings, and you're reading the headings, and you're kind of looking through the headings and seeing exactly if you can recall what that section was about, what that part of the chapter was about, and then that will also help you increase your retention of the material that you're reading. I hope you're getting value from what I'm sharing, because this right here is a game changer. This right here will help you boost your grades. This right here will not only help you to boost your grades, it will boost your confidence. And thirdly, you'll do much better in life being a reader, an effective reader, a good reader, right? So most people, like I said, most college students read at a 7th grade level. If you can increase that to college level, you'll be ahead of the rest of your class. So try these techniques out. Now, here's one other, let me just share 2 other techniques that I use as well. So as I'm reading, if I see a word that I'm unfamiliar with, if it's a new word, what I do is I have my dictionary. I'll take my phone and look up the word, and then I'll write down the definition. So if I have a book that's mine that I plan on keeping, then I'll write the definition in the book. Or if it's a book that I'm not planning to keep, I'll jot it down in a notebook, or I'll save it somewhere on a file. I have actually a vocabulary file in my phone. So anytime I read a new word, I'll look up the definitions, copy and paste it into the file, and then I'll go over it. And just by simply doing just that, that will help me to improve my vocabulary and also learn this new word. So next time when I read the chapter, or next time I see that word, I won't have to stop again to look it up, because see, the more words you know about the material, the more words you know about the subject, the vocabulary words that are used in the subject, the better off you'll be. You'll be able to go through the reading material much faster. So these are some strategies that I use to help me with my reading. Here's another technique that you can implement right now in your reading, especially textbooks. Here's what you do. You look at the headings and the subheadings. Write a question mark next to each of the headings. Turn those those headings and subheadings into questions that as you're reading, you're trying to answer as you're reading. When you do that, that helps you to focus on the material. It also helps you to comprehend the material much better and faster. This will change everything for you if you do it, because a lot of professors, and even in high school, some teachers will do that. They'll turn the heading or subheading into a question, a test question that you'll see later on. So try these techniques out. Again, the one skill that will make the greatest difference for you in college is your reading skill. Improve your reading skill today. Most college students only read at a 7th grade level. If you can bring that up, if you can develop your reading by reading on a regular basis, by using these techniques, then your reading skill, you'll increase that muscle, if you will, and you'll be a better reader. And when you become a better reader, then a lot of things will change for you. So I hope you received value from today's message. Thank you again for watching. My name again is Zizi from UnleashYourZebra.com. If you have received value from today's message, please do throw some thumbs up, like this video, comment below. Let me know if you have any questions, if you need any clarification on what I've shared today. And also, please do share this video as well. Zebras share. Zebras are also readers. So you've got to share this and also encourage your other friends to read more effectively. And when they do, and when you do, a lot of great things will happen for you. Thank you again for watching. Please do remember to unleash